That's how I get that ooh.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
What's goody, YouTube? How's everyone doing? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to yet another live reaction video. If you're new here for the first time, my name is TMR, and since you clicked on this video, you might as well subscribe to the YouTube channel, leave your comments down below, and enjoy this reaction video. What's goody, YouTube? What's good, TMR gang? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to yet another live reaction video. I'm your girl, TMR. Thank y'all so much for stopping what you were doing and meet me over in this daggone break room, y'all. Oh boy. All right. Y'all see the title? Y'all see the thumbnail? Y'all know what we got to get into, honey. We got old Liv in the break room, y'all. Y'all know yesterday, was it yesterday? Or yeah, I think it was yesterday. We talked about Olivia briefly. And all right, y'all. We're gonna have yet another conversation about Olivia and what she feels about Gerard, Antonisha, the children, the whole dynamic. Oh my God. Oh my goodness gracious. You know, I guess my thought is the very first time when we first heard about her losing custody, you know, it I don't even know what to say at this point. You know, I will say this. Olivia has created her own hell. Okay. She has definitely aided and embedded. Is it aided and embedded? Aided and embedded. Yeah, y'all know what I'm trying to say. It's late, y'all. And you know, for these kids. And here's the part that bothers me so bad. There was a lot that was said in this live stream, and also some sensitive topics. A sensitive topic that she touched about her oldest child was also discussed in this live stream. And you know, at this point, I understand what the internet does, and I'm not saying that you can't share things with people that you've been that's been watching you for years and years and years. I'm not saying that. But I just really feel like when it comes to certain things, like if you want to tell all your business, tell all your businesses. But when it comes to your kids, I think we need to be a little more selective, you know? Right, Pearl. I mean, at this point, I am literally speechless because this is the part I don't understand about Olivia. For some odd reason, she thinks when Gerard mistreats her, disrespects her, treats her like flesh, she thinks that's he still wants her. Why does she equate a man mistreating you, disrespecting you, to he still want me? Because a man that wants you is not going to disrespect you. It's not going to mistreat you. He's not going to touch on you because he feel like he can, because you're going to let him. A man that loves you and wants to be with you will be intentional towards you. And you're right, Lynn, right. So I don't know why she feels like it's just like when you hear women talk about how they man get jealous. Girl, he got jealous because I went out with my friends. Girl, I was on the phone and he snatched the phone from me and told me I better not be talking to no other nigga. And you know how women who thinks that's cute? When does a man obsessing over you become cute? Just, just like that's you know how you have women who thinks that's cute? That's not cute. Because obsession, as we can see, because we watch Dateline, we watch all these crime stories, we know obsession can turn what? Deadly. So that behavior is not cute. But Olivia feel like if a man slap her on her booty inappropriately, because let's be honest, if Gerard, Olivia's gonna talk in this video, and we're gonna get to it in just a minute. When y'all remember when she told us back in November when she met up with Gerard over his people house, and she said he had been drinking and he was calling her and pushing up on her and all this other stuff that she said he was doing. A man touching on you and rubbing on you inappropriately, especially when he ain't your ninja, how do you find that as being he wants you? No, sis, that's called disrespecting you. You're not his property anymore. You're not his woman, you're not his wife. He has a whole nother wife. I would have slapped him in his face. But ninja, get your hands up off of me. If that is what happened. Again, y'all, I don't know what I do feel at some point Gerard was flirting with her. Maybe in the beginning he was. Something just tells me maybe he wasn't so much towards the end of it, right? Like in the last year or two, something makes me feel like he wasn't. But then again, y'all, I don't know because I wasn't there. She does. She feels like any attention is good intention. Just like when these men get on the internet and drag her, she feels like they still want her because they want to be in her presence. Like, why does she equate a ninja disrespecting you to he wants you? A man disrespecting you, calling you all kind of bitches and talking about your ussy smell like tuna and telling the world that you don't like to take baths and he had to make you take baths. You equate that to he wants you. Well, how does that even make sense? Girl, that doesn't even make sense. So let's get into yeah, she does. She every time she gets ready to move, she does this. You're right. But at the end of the day, if she gonna put it on, I'm gonna tell you the reason why Olivia even have a skit to put on. Olivia has sabotaged her own damn life. Her love of the internet and I can see if she was making the type of money that she can really live good off of. Like all that she has thrown away for the sake of the internet. And sis, you're not even making the type of money where you can afford to pay a car note. You're not even making that type of money. She's not making life-changing money. And it's because it's a vast majority of her obsession with the internet is why her life has drastically changed. Just like when you talk about the girls that's on the OnlyFans and a lot of y'all like, I would never. But a lot like Bad Baby, she made the type of money that would change a heifer's life, right? Olivia's not even making that type of money. Anytime you still got to go get the government's Medicaid and food stamps, then you're not making that type of money to literally throw away your life, basically. So let's get into this video, y'all. Yeah, just bare minimum. I mean, the stuff that Olivia's doing, like, girl, you could have just went and got a job. You probably still would have had your kids. You said the wife admitted they slept with each other, but that doesn't mean he wants her. She was just a piece of ass. Why can't she get that? That is beyond me. I think Olivia knows that she was a piece of ass. She knows that. She knows Gerard don't. Olivia knows that Gerard don't want to put her up in the house. Because if he did, that's where she would be. Olivia knows Gerard touches on her because she allows it. I mean, at this point, he probably touching on any woman that would allow him to. She knows that. Olivia knows, but she, for some odd reason, she equates that as he still want me. Give me 1 minute, y'all. All right, you guys, my apologies. All right. All right, let me get this video on the screen. Give me just 1 moment, y'all. All right, here we go. So she started this live off reading a comment that one of her subscribers had sent her in regards to her situation. I guess more in the regards to, I don't know if it was to this live or to the video she did before this live. All right, let me make sure I got everything set up. All right, my apologies, you guys. Here we go.
You don't have to tell me about a graduation. I hope you're having a good night. I am having a good night, baby. Thank you. Hi. Is he the type to control you? Yeah, I mean, the people who have been here long enough, and most of you guys have, but you guys like to act like it's something that it's not. I understand. I get it. If you don't like somebody, you can pretty much tell yourself anything and start believing it. You know what I mean? And that's okay. But I'm going to talk about the truth forever and always, and we're going to keep it the truth, because when you guys veer off to the left and go on to fairylands and make it something that it's not, I'm going to bring you guys back to reality, and I'm going to remind you of what it is. And just in case you haven't heard the whole story and you don't know what happened and you don't know what it really is and you hear the bullshit from everybody else, I'm just going to talk about what it truly is.
For which I got to understand is, for years, the reaction videos has been the majority of these ladies' content. And so a lot of people have been talking about Olivia went to court the other day and she got her visitations taken away, right? And so, as we know, her, Jasmine, Chrissy, back in the day, I don't know if Chrissy still does, but we do know Jasmine and Olivia, they stay watching reaction videos, right? So more often, especially for Olivia, reaction videos becomes her topic. So she know this has been the conversation on a lot of reaction channels in the comments and stuff. So she's coming to talk about it.
You're getting blocked. You've been a hater. Bye, Carmen. See you later. I don't care what you agree with. If you think that stepping on another woman's toes or a man's toes, you're getting blocked too. Okay. If you think that stepping on another person's toes, a parent, is okay for whatever reason you're doing it, for your partner, for whatever, you're wrong. It's not okay. And I know that because I'm a woman and I'm a mother. And if I were to get with a man with children, I would never step on her toes. I would never cross boundaries. I don't give a fuck what he said. First of all, I wouldn't be with a man that talks shit about his baby mama. I wouldn't be with a man who still fucks on his baby mama. So I wouldn't be in that situation, period. I'm just saying, if I was that type of woman, and I still wouldn't do that.
I just don't understand how she feels like Antonisha's stepping on her toes. Here's the thing. Before any of this started, you birthed those kids and they are your children. Where on God's green earth do you become intimidated by this woman? For what reason? Because remember, you're the mother, right? You're the mother. So how do you become intimidated by her? So Antonisha outnumbers her, but the internet, she stayed cussing people out on the internet. But you don't touch her. I wouldn't care what Antonisha got going on. You birthed them, right? So why not show up for the graduation? There wasn't a sign on the building saying, do not let Olivia Johnson in this building. Yeah, it was open invitation. Anybody. Hell, I could have came to the graduation. Anybody could have showed up. So how do you feel like, how do you allow her to step on your toes? Because if you were doing what you're supposed to do as a mother, as a woman, how would she even have the opportunity to step on your toes? You know why? Because Olivia has taken many sabbaticals from being a parent to those children, regardless if they're in her custody or out of her custody. You have taken sabbaticals, hence last summer, just one example. Because let's be honest, what did you go to Florida for last summer? You didn't accomplish anything. To turn right back around and come right back to Texas to the apartment that was sitting there waiting on you. Let me tell you something. I've been in Olivia's situation where the father of my children has moved on to another relationship. And the woman that's in their lives at the time says, you can't step on my toes because these shoes can't be replaced. See, Olivia, you knew your shoes were being replaced. That's how you felt like your toes was being stepped on. And if you was that woman that you're supposed to be, Antonisha would have never been able to intimidate you. It almost feels like she felt like Antonisha was doing a better job than her. Hence the reason why she feels like Antonisha's stepping on her toes. Because if you didn't feel like Antonisha was doing a better job of being a mother to your children than you, then how could you feel like she's stepping on your toes?
You know? Very point blank. And you could think how you want, say what you want, feel how you want. That's the truth. That's the grown adult truth of the matter. Okay? Okay, well. Okay, cool. So let's get into the comment. Amanda N. Here she is right here, guys. I'm gonna show it to you. I'm gonna show it to you. She's right here.
Oh, no, we're not gonna listen to that.
When you already start a situation, this my whole divorce, my whole breakup, everything. Yes, it played out on the internet. Do I regret it? No, I don't regret nothing. Everything happened the way it was supposed to happen. Okay.
No, sis, no, none of this was supposed to happen like this. You know, you don't regret nothing. You don't regret being humiliated by your kids being taken from you by your ex-husband. You you don't regret that. It's almost like if you're not human. Because how could you not regret that happening? How could you not regret the fact that you got caught slipping, basically? How could you not regret that? You know what that sounds like? Not taking accountability. Because the only way that the judge was able to render the decision that he made was based off the evidence was that obviously came from you. It wasn't lies, because the lawyer can't present no lie. The lawyer has to present facts, sis. That's how cases are decided, off of facts, not opinions. The internet goes off opinions and some facts. The court of law typically go off all facts. So they had facts presented that Gerard was the better custodial parent than you. And how do you not regret the courts making that decision?
But do I wish? No, I can't even say that. My feelings were my feelings. My feelings were valid in the moment. Okay. I wish that I didn't trust him the way that I was trusting him. I had no reason to trust a man. Never trust a man. Okay. Never do that, because they will fuck you over, take everything from you. They'll do whatever they need to do to hurt and destroy you.
So when were you trusting Gerard? Were you trusting Gerard when you got served court papers? Was you still trusting him then? Were you trusting Gerard still when you seen he obtained legal counsel in the state of Florida where you were currently living at and in the state of Texas? Were you still trusting him then? Were you trusting him when he was showing up to every court date with his attorney by his side? Were you still trust? When did you? What do you mean? Never trust? At what point did you stop trusting? Because the very first time I would have seen the paperwork coming and seen his attorney's name on the paperwork, baby, I would have knew then that he was meaning business. I would have known then, oh, this ninja mean business.
I learned that. But do I regret talking shit? Nope. I'll do it again. Do I regret feeling the way I felt? Nope. I was hurt and I was going through it. And I was going through a huge life-changing moment in my life. And it happened the way it happened. But now, today, oh girl, I've been over it. I've been over it. Now, Amanda, you have to understand how this, and we have to talk about them because they're a part of it.
How is a man not wanting you anymore life-changing? How is that? I mean, people quit each other all the time. Because remember, Gerard left first. Then the situation with him taking the kids came after. So are you saying you were going through things because he left and you knew he wasn't coming back? Again, how do you feel like that was life-changing because he left you and decided not to come back? How was that life-changing? The nigga, he just quit you, sis. You ain't haven't you be quitted on before? This the first time somebody quit you? I don't think so. I think you've been quitted on plenty of times. Is it because he was the father of your children? You can tell. I'm not going to say Olivia hadn't been with men prior to Gerard, but you can definitely tell she may have slept with men, but I don't think Gerard was like her first real relationship. Hence the reason why she ended up having her first 3 kids with him. So I just don't understand how she feel like Gerard leaving her was life changing. What would have changed my life is when the judge said no, those kids are going to live in Texas and not with you in Florida. That's when my life would have changed, right at that moment.
You have to understand how their relationship came to be. Okay. I was married to my husband and she was sleeping with my husband. The only reason I'm bringing this up, let me say this again for the bitches in the back, is because it's the truth. Okay.
Okay, even if it was the truth, but weren't you sleeping with Maurice in Houston while you was with said husband? Because let's be honest, sis, when you went to Houston in 20, was that 2020, y'all? When you went to Houston in February or March, whenever that was, Gerard was at home watching the kids while you were in Houston. He couldn't touch Antonisha. She was in Texas, he was in Florida. So if anybody was sleeping with anybody while married, it sounds like you started it first. And then once Gerard seen that you wasn't about the right, that's when he went to go buy the ussy from the prostitute. Remember when he went to go buy the 90 from the prostitute and he didn't have enough money? You remember that, Olivia? Because remember you recorded and brought it to YouTube for the whole world to know that Gerard was out there buying that 90 from the prostitute. You remember that?
Okay. So when you already start a situation like that, like on shaky grounds, on when you're hurting another person, when you're going behind you, the person has a wife, whatever the case may be, the people could be getting a divorce, not living together, cheating on whatever. It could be the worst. It could be the worst of the worst situations. But the fact was, whether I was sleeping with somebody else or he, blah, 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 he was married and we were still sleeping together. That's all that matters. Okay. And this is before I met Brandon. So anyone who's going to be like, well, you were sleeping with Brandon. No, this is before I even met Brandon.
Right. And before you met Brandon, it was Maurice. You even had got pregnant by him. From what you told the girls. Isn't that what you told me? So, you're right. Before you met Brandon, there was Maurice, sis. At least with him, based off what you say, Antonisha apparently has been the only one. Well, I guess he dibbled in your pond last year too, from the story you tell. But based off what you and the maintenance man, we forgot about the maintenance man. So but they wasn't married then, sis. They wasn't married when the maintenance man came around. They were still, they didn't get married to the end of December of 2019. So after they were married, after 2019, going into January 2020, she was hollering at Maurice. And then when Gerard left, just a few months after that situation, then she hightailed it to Texas. Once she realized Gerard wasn't going, he was over there living with Antonisha. And then living with Antonisha. And then she seen that she wasn't going to be able to have all of Gerard, just a little piece of him whenever he would drop by on his way to work or whatever. Then that's when she went to go over there to Brandon. And then Brandon wasn't even single. He had a woman. So Gerard had a woman he was living with, and Brandon had one he was living with.
Okay. The only reason I started with Brandon is because I found out he was with that lady. Okay. So I was like, okay, cool. You moved on. I'm going to try to move on. But he tried to sabotage that. My ex-husband. Okay. Okay, cool. All right. So
I don't know, Miss TRD.
That's the facts. So when you start a relationship out like that, it's already bad. You understand? Like if I was already divorced, we already got a divorce decree, custody situation went through, and then they met and got together and whatever, then that would have been a whole different situation between her and I, between everything, the whole dynamic. But you were sleeping with my husband, period, point blank. And she knew I was still with him. She knew I still loved him. She knew I told her this over the phone. You guys saw the video. So she was that type of woman.
So because you told her that you are still sleeping with Gerard and you still love Gerard, Antonisha was supposed to feel sorry for you. Why wasn't Gerard the one that should have stayed true to you? Why did you didn't marry Antonisha? You married Gerard. So while you on the phone professing your love to Antonisha about Gerard, how come you wasn't professing the love to Gerard about Gerard? Because what Antonisha's supposed to do about your feelings? Them yours, sis. They don't belong to her. Now, do I condone a woman sleeping around with the man? No, but let's look at the context of everything. Y'all think Antonisha wasn't aware of why Gerard left Olivia in Florida? Do y'all really think Antonisha? And she proceeded on. She proceeded on with Gerard's direction. If Gerard was the one that should have been trying to make it work. Gerard, it's funny how she feels like Antonisha owed her more respect than the man she fucking married. Why do you feel like Antonisha owed you more respect than Gerard? You keep saying she slept with your husband. How about your husband slept with the woman that wasn't his wife? Why don't you ever say that? Why don't you ever blame Gerard? Why do you keep blaming Antonisha? Like she was over there by herself. She needed Gerard's penis to enter her body, sis. Like this is the most asinine, insane conversation. And this is why I wouldn't even speak on this man no more. Gerard didn't marry Olivia because he couldn't live without her. He married Olivia because he wanted to be with his children. He tried to be that in-house dad. If you notice, Gerard came back for the children. He didn't come back for her. He came back for the children. He never came back for Olivia. And if Olivia would just realize, since it's always been about the kids, yeah, he'll play with you, he'll flirt with you, he'll do all that, sis. That's because you allow it. Hence the reason why he do Antonisha the way he was with Antonisha that summer, then left Antonisha, ran back to you, married you, then left you, ran back to Antonisha. He do y'all the way he do y'all because y'all allow it to happen. If y'all wouldn't allow it, he wouldn't be able to do it. Like at some point, I understand being in love and dumb, right? I understand that. But god damn, how long is you gonna be dumb? At some point, you got to be like, you know what? I choose me, honey. I don't choose you. And if you ain't choosing me, okay, because I guarantee you somebody else will.
From the jump, okay? Remember that. And no, he didn't know her first. He met her the summer we broke up because you guys like to make that up too. Oh, he knew her from back in the... No, he never knew her. He met her the summer I left. I moved to Florida. They met then. Okay, then he.
How do you know that, Olivia? Did Antonisha tell you that or did Gerard tell you that? Who told you that? Because how do you know he didn't know her already? Because they sure got real chummy real quick. How do you know that? You don't know what Gerard knew and who Gerard, you don't know.
That they had like a fling. And then he came, married me, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's how it happens. So get it right if you're going to talk about the situation. I know she's never been pregnant. She's never da da da. They didn't have a relationship ever while him and I were together. back in the day. Okay? Okay, cool. So, with that being said,
But did you say Gerard cheated on you? Do you know every woman he cheated with? Do you? No, you don't. He don't know every man you cheated with. So how you know she wasn't one of the ones?
that's how the situation started. And then, of course, I was mad. Of course, I talked shit. Of course, I told her I was going to beat her. Of course, I grasped at everything. You would too. Because that's what women who have been with men and have children with men and find out about another bitch, that's how we tend to act. Right, ladies? Right? Or was Liv the first one to ever act crazy? No, not at all. Of course, in the beginning, I talk shit. And of course, I talk shit throughout the years. Of course, because the shit just got worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, because you wouldn't let go, let go, let go. No, sis, you are not the first one to act crazy over a ninja. Unfortunately, you won't be the last one. And just like we talk about all them other women that act cuckoo over the ninjas, therefore we gonna talk about you too.
Okay, so listen, as of today, okay, 2026, May, almost June, I have no feelings for that man. None.
Oh
Okay.
Lord.
So much has gone on.
Okay, Olivia, I have a question. You don't have to answer, just listen. If you have no feelings for this man, how did you feel allegedly saying that you slept with him last year? Because how do you sleep with him? Well, never mind. Hence the reason you didn't got pregnant 3 different times by 3 different men. If you had no feelings for him, how do you even create the story that y'all slept together? Like a person who does not have feelings. So let me give y'all an example. I dated a guy when I was 19. I swear to God, I remember who he is. How could I not? We had a good time. That was a good summer. Sis, I'm 53 now. I literally have no feelings. I don't even remember that nigga's last name. Can you imagine me sitting up here telling y'all a story about this man? Yeah, I have no feelings for him. So I have no stories about him. So how do you keep continuously having stories about a man that you say you have no feelings for? Even if you got kids with him, even if you were once married to him, he is no longer. He's gonna forever be your baby daddy, but he ain't your nigga. Why we keep talking about him?
And I've been played with so much about my children. I don't care about him. I didn't care about him in 2021. Yeah, it hurts still. Yes, I was going through my divorce, but the loss of my children is what gutted me from the inside, not the loss of him. I don't give a fuck if the man's in a mansion driving a Porsche going to Africa every other fucking weekend. I don't give a fuck what he's doing. I don't care about his life because that's not the man that I want.
But yet you slept with him last year, from what you say. How do you sleep with a man that you say you don't want? Again, I'm gonna say that again. How do you sleep with a man that you say you don't want as a woman? How do you do that?
Yes, I slept with him a year ago, but my core intention of sleeping with him was to get him to change shit up with my child stuff, with my kid stuff.
Okay. And so why didn't that happen? Is that ussy not good enough, sis? Is we dealing with poor ussy management over there? So if the core reason was for you sleeping with him last year was to get stuff changed up with your kid stuff, from what you called it, kid stuff, um, what happened? Sis, what happened? Let's continue.
Not exactly just child support, just custody, period. It was stupid. It was dumb. I didn't go about it the right way because that was the first time I ever did something like that. That was like, I'm not even that type of person. I'm not this type of person that even does this weird shady shit. I only act shady and do.
Wait, hold on. You said there's an audio message she played saying, if I can't have you, I don't want them. You talking about a message to Gerard? When did she play that? Oh, I missed that one.
Like this shady, weird, gross shit when I'm around that man.
Right, Lynn.
And that's cool, that's fine. I'm not trying to like down him or anything, but like that's what comes with him. Weird, shady shit. So, whatever. I had a motive. It didn't go through the way it was supposed to because he will not relinquish control over me. He thinks that he has some type of control over me with this situation, So he will never let that go.
Sis, in a sense, he does have control. He's the parental custodial parent. So he does have control. If you don't do things right, he can tell on you, because apparently you never tell on him. So in a sense, he does have control, sis.
He will never let that go. You guys don't know him for real. But yeah, that's why we could never just sit down because too much has been done. First of all, in no world can him and I even be cool. Not because I'm so immature and I won't allow it to happen. No, because I'm over them. I'm over that whole situation. I'm over them being, I don't care if they're married together. Good for them. That's great. But
you know why you don't care? Because when you came out with that story last year about you guys sleeping together, you really thought that was going to damage her. You thought that was going to be the end of them. And regardless if it's the truth or not, they're still together. So I guess at this point, that was the last straw and it didn't break the camel's back. So I would be over it at this point too.
Do you guys think that she would ever allow us to co-parent together? Like, do you guys ever think that, honestly, do you think that he could be in a room with me and not try anything?
See, this is my example. Olivia takes lust and equates it to love. If you're saying if Gerard is lusting over you, that means he wants you. Well, sis, if that's the case, then why doesn't he have the mother of his only children on the face of this globe in that brand new house he just built from the ground up? How come he doesn't have the mother of his only children driving brand new vehicles? If that's the case, why do you equate a man lusting after you as loving you? That's very odd, sis. It's giving penis on the brain. It's giving low self-esteem. The only way I would equate a man lusting after me is loving me is if it's the man who actually does love me. And he tell me, get your ass over here and get in this bed. And I'll be like, Daddy, yeah. Okay, now you that's the ninja that love me. That's the ninja that's paying the bill, taking care of the business. Yeah, Gerard ain't doing nothing. He ain't paying damn bill. Girl, you couldn't even get him to pay the Costco bill this year because you said that got cut off. So since I'm confused, so you saying if you and Gerard was in the room together and he tell you come over here and bring them big old titties over here, he loved me. No, since he just being nasty. That's all. Give me 1 minute, y'all. Give me just 1 minute.
Because men are stupid.
Okay, y'all, we back. Give me just 1 moment. I forgot where we left off at. Hold on, y'all.
If I had a positive drug screening. Okay.
Wait a minute. Let me get back to the part we was at, y'all. Give me just 1 moment.
Oh, we were in a room full of people. I wish that it would. I wish that he would grow up. Period. I don't care how much you keep them away from me. I want to be with the person like that.
Okay, I think we're right back at it.
I don't want to be with a man who, like I was with him. I was with him. I was his main. He had his side chicks. No, thank you. I don't want to be the main and a man has side chicks. Not me. If you guys think that's goals, then that's okay. I'm not trying to put anybody down. But at the same time, don't put me down and don't make it about him and I, because it's not about him and I. What? What?
Yeah, it's right here, baby. We got it. Let's continue.
You what? Look at this hair, girl. You broke it. You broke it? The iPad? Let me see. You just have to make sure it don't happen. She said no is no. You guys are funny. You guys are really funny. And should I just show you guys like no, I'm not going to show you guys cuz I don't want to put people's business out there. No. Well, no. No. No, 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 no. I'm not going to put people's business out there. You guys, I already know no is no. I've already been here before. Okay? Okay? No, I'm not going to show you guys cuz it's going to be messy and I'm not trying to be messy. It's just the truth is the truth, the facts are the facts, okay? It doesn't even matter to me anymore. Like I keep saying, It's over, it's done. I think that we should, at this point, at this motherfucking point, after everything that's been done to me, okay, I would still sit down with both of them because she just has to be there. Oh my God. I would still sit down and I would have a conversation. I would, as an adult. But if you think for a fucking second that I'm gonna walk in that bitch and give some respect that's not given back to me, you got me fucked up. Like this whole situation has been got me fucked up. Okay? And I will get my respect. Because I don't give a fuck who she is to the fucking internet or who she is to him. Those are my fucking kids. Period. Period. I don't care how much you keep them away from me, how much you brainwash them against me. I don't care about none of that shit. Those are my babies. Period, point blank. So you're going to give me respect.
So my thing is this. Okay. But that's the reason why you should have showed up to that gym. For everything you just said right there. Because those are your kids. But when you do things like not show up to the football games, not show up to the graduation, then that makes Antonisha, in my opinion, the head bitch in charge. Because in that gymnasium where Christians' graduations was being held, who cares about respect? You didn't even have to sit on the same side of the same side of the gymnasium them people were sitting on. They could have been sitting on the left and you could have been sitting on the right. Or they could have been sitting on the right and you could have been sitting on the left. Like the whole respect thing, I think that went out the window a long time ago. Even once you get over the fact this woman slept with the man that you were still legally married to, let's not forget that you were in Houston sleeping with a man while you were legally married. And Gerard was at the house watching the kids. Let's not forget that happened. So even when at what point do you just be like, all right, especially knowing, again, Gerard has always cheated. Yes, he was cheating when y'all weren't married. And once he found out what you did in Houston, I guess he feel like, it's all bets are off. Let me get my ass on back to Texas. But I remember in watching her videos back when she was in that house in Florida that she said she bought and she actually did not. I remember her saying, I can't remember if she said it or if Gerard said it. I can't remember how it went, but I remember, I think Gerard said it. Like he wanted them all to come back together. And Olivia didn't want to go. She was mad because Gerard, she was like, I'm trying to build a new life for us here. And I really feel now, listening to her now, well, obviously you didn't want Gerard to come back to Texas because she knew that Antonisha was in the wings, right? And I feel like Olivia is intimidated by Antonisha. I really do. I feel like she's intimidated by Antonisha. And that's why she feels like Antonisha doesn't respect her. Oh, and Antonisha won't let Gerard and I co-parent. Antonisha doesn't have any control over you and him co-parenting. When y'all go to court, it says Gerard Webb and Olivia Johnson. It doesn't say Gerard and Antonisha Webb and Olivia Johnson. It says Gerard Webb and Gerard Webb and Olivia Johnson. That's what it says on the court paperwork. Yes, Antonisha is his now wife, but when it goes to court, they don't care nothing about her being the wife. They care about the two parents, which are you and him.
Period. What the fuck? That's it. I'm not saying kiss my ass. I'm just saying respect me as such. I'm not going to respect you as the mother. You're not the fucking mom. Period. And that's what this situation has turned into. Like, oh God, I can't even like help you guys understand this situation. Let me tell you guys something. When I was with him, he is the type of man that you know is not shit, right? But he does shit to you, and then you have the upper hand against him. And he keeps giving you the up. That's why it always look like, oh, Olivia, you're so mean to him. You're emasculating him. No, it's because that nigga kept fucking me over. And then he knew he was fucking me over. So he would kind of like bow down in a sense because he knew he was doing wrong.
Right. And so you thought this time when he started messing around with Antonisha, you thought this time was going to be like all the other times. And unfortunately for you, you seen that it wasn't. Even if he touched on you, he wasn't leaving her, period. But the only reason he was able to touch on you is because you opened the door and allowed it. Because at this point, regardless of what Antonisha accepts out of him, he is not your man. So if that woman wants to accept what you used to accept, that's her business. But what wouldn't have happened is him touching on me. Because once again, how does he touching on you help you? You went to jail the same year, just a few months after you said you and him slept together. You still went to jail for the same way you said you was trying to get custody or child, whatever. None of that worked, sis. You still end up going to jail. You know why? Because it got bigger than Gerard. Once you broke the law of the state and their child support law, once you broke that, it got bigger than Gerard. He couldn't, and you know that, Olivia. So let's be honest. If you did sleep with Gerard, it's because you wanted to. It had nothing to do with what you thought was going to happen in court. You knew he had no control over that. It was bigger than him.
Okay, you guys don't know of everything that man ever did. So I know it's the same type of situation with them because that's the type of man he is. Like, you already know he's not shit. You know he's gonna fuck around. You know he's gonna do this, this, and this, and this. So he bows down and he like lets her believe whatever she believes in her crazy mind. I'm sorry, you're crazy because you think those are your kids and they're not your kids. And he has let her control our co-parenting situation. He's just
Let me tell y'all something. When it comes to step parents can be very evil, right? Unfortunately, some of you guys have experienced that, right? As kids, you had a stepmom or a stepdad in your life, and they weren't so nice to you, right? The fact that those kids have a step parent that actually loves them is actually remarkable. How many horror stories have you guys heard about or actually experienced yourself with the step parent? Especially when this is a situation that she can't reverse. Because if Olivia was able to reverse that situation, it would have already happened, y'all. It would have already happened if she could reverse the situation that the judge told her no. You can't have custody of them. You can have visitations. Visitation and 50% of decision making. But as far as where those kids reside, it's over there with their daddy. If that's something she could have changed, don't y'all think she would have changed that? As much as she changed her address, you don't think she would have changed that?
it's a lot. Okay, it's a lot. And that's why I keep saying, like, I'm not gonna keep
Hey,
playing
proud
into this
mama.
bullshit because it's all like a weird game between those two. Like, she just wants me gone and he just wants to control me. It's like a weird psychological game, and it will continue to be because, like I said, wait, hold on, let me read your comments. Like I said, it's never going to stop. And I wish that it would. I wish that he would grow up, do the work, and that's why I said grow up, because I don't care what you guys think. I'm immature. I'm the fucking problem. I'm always the problem. I'm not the problem. Maybe I'm the problem to him because he can't get over me. He can't get over. Of course, he can't get over us. He didn't even heal correctly, and that's what I kept saying. He needs to heal, but he won't because he.
How do you know he's not? Are you? Like, how do you know? It's odd that she feels like he didn't heal correctly. Sis, what does healing look like to you?
Can't be by himself. Okay.
He can't be by himself, and you done had 3 more kids by 3 different men since you divorced, since y'all got divorced, what, 4 or 5 years ago? He can't be by himself, but yet you birthed 3 kids by 3 different, well, 2 and 1 you're getting ready to birth here soon. Oh, okay, girl.
And it just, and my kids suffer because of it. My kids suffer because of it. So, yeah, you know. Wait, what? This is why the blank renting doesn't work for you. The convo is all about when we were together. Does he want me? Not, because the fact that he still wants me plays a part into why we can't get along. That's why. Do you understand? That's why it always comes back to this, because that is a major part into why we cannot co-parent. Because a man and a woman who are over each other can co-parent. People who are not cannot. Understand? Do you get it? Does that make sense? That's why it always comes back to this.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think if Olivia would have dealt with her pain in silence and healed whatever, however she feels like healing looks, and Gerard did what he did, and they had a sit down conversation, I think everything would have been all right, right? Obviously, she's mad because he took custody of those kids from her and has Antonisha over there mothering her children. Yeah, you're mad about that. You're bitter. You're upset. Whatever. Okay? Understand. Understood. I understand that part. But the fact is, all the animosity and anger that you would have built up inside of you because of what transpired, why didn't we use this energy to stop what was happening in court? Because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, you got to be something horrible for the judge to take the kids away from you like that. Because unless you're just a horrible piss poor ass mother or horrible piss poor ass father, the courts, and I say this, y'all, the courts, it's hard to take custody away from the mother, depending on the state. Now, let me say, because you got some states that are mother friendly and some that are not. I don't know about Texas, right? Now, me being a foster parent, I've seen this with my own eyes. The stuff that those kids had to go through because of the hands of the mother that they were living with, and the courts, the state was still giving these parents opportunity. They would say, just get a place to live. It don't even got to be in the safest neighborhood. This is what the judge, I heard a judge say this. Just get those children a place to live. Make sure they have beds. And you can get these kids back. And don't you know that mother did not do that? The state was going to pay her rent for 6 months, give her beds for the children. I'm sitting in court, y'all. I'm listening. I'm sitting right there. Baby, don't you know? 4 months, 5 months later, I still had them kids. The mama ain't done nothing. So I know for a fact the state will do whatever they can to keep those kids in the, with the parent, with the mom. But when it's out of their hands, it's out of their hands. When the opposing party presents the evidence that they need to present that you are not, I'm just going to say this, suitable to be the custodial parent, then the judge has no other choice, but to render that decision. You said yes. As a foster sister to many, I have seen some raggedy ass moms get their kids back. Exactly, sis. I've seen it too. I've seen it with my own eyes.
Shit, because that is what I deal with. The fuck? Like I said, last November, when I was in November, October, October, after the cheating, after she found out, after it all blew up, I came back to Texas. I met up with him in a room full of people. That man was still fucking all over me, bro. And I went to talk to him about the kids. I didn't go there to sleep with him. If I went there to sleep with him, bitch, I would have slept with him.
Girl, not you would have slept with him in the house full of his people, because you ain't got no peoples in Texas. So you went over to one of his people's house and he was over there drinking. Oh, so this is the same time. Remember, you guys, she told us Joey was here and she had the yeah, it is with love. It is. Remember, you guys, this is the incident she told us that she went to go meet up with Gerard. And remember, she said she pulled off and he chased her in his car and told her to pull over. And remember, she said Joey was at the house watching the children, and she said the Web3 she had him that weekend. This is the same time she's talking about. So Joey, you didn't flew him in from New York because you said you paid for the ticket. You flew him in from New York to lay up with him, and so he can be a mother to his daughter, or not a mother, a father to his daughter, at least if not just for, I don't know, a week. You decided to leave your home with your baby daddy, your at the time, your newest baby daddy, because you wasn't pregnant yet, or maybe you was and didn't know. Anyway, and you left him there with AJ and Kalani and then the Web3 and drove to wherever Gerard was at to walk in the house to talk to him about the kids as if he had them with him. You had the kids with you. So what conversation was you having with him about the kids and they at the house with you? And I'm pretty sure Gerard was aware that Joey was in town because hell, the internet knew. And we do know Antonisha watches the internet, so Antonisha knew. So I'm sure Gerard knew. And if Gerard was touching up on, let's just say this happened, okay? Let's just say this happened. That makes you think he wants you when he know you was just laying up with another? Sis, that's him treating you like a piece of meat. And you allow it. You think it's cute. I'm going to say this again. Joey was at the house with the kids, all of them. And you up the street around the corner smiling in Gerard's face. And then you end up going back home with Joey because you told us about it. I don't know if it was a true or a lie. You went back to your apartment with Joey because you said Joey wouldn't even lay up with you. And Gerard went home to Antonisha. And then Joey ended up leaving your ass and went back to New York with old girl, Carmen. And Gerard built the house from the ground up for Antonisha. And you sitting over here pregnant by neither Gerard or Joey, by a whole nother man. Do any of this make sense to y'all? Child, this some Phil Donahue type ish. This ain't even Jerry Springer, baby. This Phil Donahue.
No. But any fucking time I go to meet up with him, that's what he makes it about. Hello? The fuck? We were in a room full of people, and this man kept messing with me. I'm not trying to mess with you like that, sir. It's not that type of party. I'm just here to talk about the kids. Yes, he was drinking. We were all drinking. But that's not an excuse. When you're over somebody, you're over somebody.
So you went over there. Wait a minute, girl. You went over there in the middle of the night to talk to Gerard about the children, and you decided to take a drink? What? One of your kids that you went to talk to him about is at your house with a whole other man that they had just met. Oh my God.
It wasn't a party. The fuck?
Yeah, ST
Yeah,
Joshua,
I
they
showed up
go.
to the party. It's talking about the kids. No, bitch. It was 1, 2, 3. It was 5 adults sitting at a fucking table having some drinks. Is that a party?
I mean, in some worlds, it is a party. If it's more than one person, now if it's one person, probably not a party. 5 people, some drinks. Oh yes, sis, that's called a get together. That's called a kickback. That's what that's called. See, you don't know nothing about that, Olivia, because you don't got no friends. Yeah, baby, that's called a kickback. That's what that's called.
And some kids running around. Is that a party?
Yeah, that's a party. Mm-hmm.
And I didn't go to sleep with him. I didn't go to do any of that. But he saw me, baby. The moment this motherfucker saw me, it was, he's like a kid. He's like a fucking kid. And I know this nigga's by the back of my hand. It's going to keep happening.
No, what she said, Novella, what she said was she did, when she told the story originally, she told it like she's telling it now. She went over there. He was in the house. They had a conversation. Remember, she left because again, she got to leave. Joey at the house with all her kids. And she said as she was leaving, he had her to pull over. And she pulled over. Remember, she said she got out the car and Gerard was trying to put his hands down her pants and all that stuff. Yeah, she just ain't telling that additional part, but she's telling what she, again, y'all, I don't know if this happened or not. But the story she's telling now, when she first told it, she told it this way too.
It's going to keep happening because he can't get right. So that's what I keep saying. And it goes all the way back to 2020.
Right, Miss TLD.
How this motherfucker started. And that's why I bring up 2020, how this motherfucker started. Because when you sleep with somebody's husband, you get in between a marriage, a family. This is how it always will go. Hello?
How will it always go? Because you keep talking about Antonisha sleeping with your husband. So can Gerard talk about Maurice sleeping with his wife? The only difference is Maurice didn't want you after that. Or, I mean, let's be honest, sis. He was in Houston, you was in Florida. He wasn't coming to Florida, and you didn't go to Houston. See, Gerard went back to where his little piece was at. You didn't. Because if you would have hightailed it and moved to Houston instead of Dallas, yeah, well, you probably still would have been tiptoeing around with Maurice. Maurice might have been, a daddy of one of these children.
I don't care what he buys her. I don't care where they live. I don't care about none of that facade bullshit. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, when I try to be the adult, when I try to just have normal conversation, it always leads back to, Olivia, come here. Come here, Olivia. All over me and shit. And maybe he does think in his mind that I'm easy, but that's because he thinks in his mind that he can have me whenever he wants to have me. That's not me making him think that. That's what he thinks.
Right, sis, but he thinks that based off your actions. He thinks that because you like for him to think that. You want Gerard to feel like you can have me whenever you want me. But with him thinking that about you, it doesn't put you in a good position, sis. Because the first time he get a chance to change his number, call you a bitch, block you, he will. Even if he had to do it in front of Antonisha, it's the fact that he can't be normal in front of Antonisha. That's why if you can't act the same way you do when she ain't around with me, then you can't act no way with me. But again, Olivia equates a man lusting after her, it's him wanting her. Like she said, maybe he does think I'm easy. He does, sis. He doesn't do it because he's in love with you, sis. He does it because he's always been able to get your ussy. Every time you, like what you told us, he was cheating on you, and you and him would get into it, and you would go retaliate and cheat with somebody, and y'all still remain together. So he just feel like it's the same way. Y'all just not together.
The fuck? What do you want me to do? Beat his ass? Bring a gun? Shoot him? What do you want me to do? Like, unfortunately, he's the father of my kids and he has control over my children. So what the fuck am I supposed to do?
You don't do nothing, sis. You go to court. You go to court. You petition the court and say, "Hey, look, judge, look, your honor. This ninja said if he can't put his hands down my pants, I can't see my children." And the judge would say, Mr. Webb, is that true? And Gerard gonna say she lying, your honor. She always lying. Go watch a YouTube channel. You'll see it. I mean, since if he's not cooperating so you can see your children peacefully, petition the courts. Just like Gerard does. When you do things that he don't like, he run your ass back to court. Why you can't do him the same way? You know why? Because you don't want to spend that money. He don't mind spending it because he got it.
Other than try to speak to him. Meet up with her there? Okay, fine, I don't care. But she's gonna respect me. I've never sat across from this lady. I've never spoken to this lady. Of course not. She cannot speak to me. I don't know why. She feels some type of way. I don't know why. Why do you feel some type of way about me?
Well, sis, I mean, I don't know, but it's been about 6 years now, 5, 6 years. Sis, you have literally drugged this woman on the internet for 6 years. Yeah, I wouldn't want to talk to you either. What is there to talk about? And let's be honest. If she got something to say, she'll just put a subliminal message on Instagram, and that's it. Like at this point, her talking to you does what? Nothing. Again, you allow, in my opinion, I think Olivia allows Antonisha to feel like she's superior. And I feel like Olivia feels that way because in a sense she kind of does feel that way. Olivia feels like Antonisha, and she probably won't say it on the internet, y'all, but she because she uses this as a way to gain viewers, sympathy, empathy. But maybe Olivia thinks Antonisha is doing a better job than her. If you think about it, y'all. Because Antonisha don't have to show up to nothing, but yet she does. And let's be honest, y'all, because of the current situation, which is obviously not going to change, you would want Antonisha to show up for those children. What would y'all rather, for Antonisha to hate and despise the children because she hate and despise Olivia? And let me I don't know if she hates and despises Olivia. I personally feel like Antonisha don't think her and Olivia are best friends. But would y'all want Antonisha to despise the children because she doesn't like who they came from, her mother? Or would you want Antonisha just not to pay Olivia no mind? Or let me say this, not let her animosity and aggression against Olivia take it out on those children? Because not only do Antonisha care for the children, so does her family. Antonisha's entire family cares for those children because they see how Gerard takes care of Antonisha. So they respect Gerard for that. Hence, those are Gerard's children. And if Antonisha love it, obviously her family supports it. But see, Olivia doesn't know that because she's never had that. So she doesn't know what that means. Again, you guys, I understand her feeling some type of way about those kids being raised by another woman. But what Olivia always have to remember is it's your fault that happened. Because the only way Gerard was able to take Olivia to court was because of her actions, not his, hers.
Because I've talked shit? Oh, fucking well, you fucked my husband. I mean, and you got in between our family, our marriage back in the day. I don't care about it no more. I'm just saying that's what she did. So of course I talked my shit. And I don't take it back. I stand on everything I fucking said. But today I don't feel no types of way about it. I don't care. Girl, that's your man. You got him. That's your man. But don't be mad at me because he can't get over me. Like, that shouldn't be my problem. But I get blamed for it. I get, oh, she can't be around the kids. She can't da 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 da. It's always something. It's always something. And I chose not to attend my son's graduation because at the end of the day, I'm human. Okay? And you can screen record this, write it down, take a picture. I don't give a fuck. At the end of the day, I'm human. And at the end of the day, there's only so much I can take when it comes to the people that I birthed. Okay? So I know where I'm at and I know where I can't go, because if I go, there's no coming back.
So what does that mean? You're human. So are you saying if you would have stepped in that gymnasium and seen Antonisha hooping and hollering for Christian, the child that she's literally around 365 days of the year, you would have felt some type of way about that? Why? Again, Olivia, it's not like the custody situation just happened a week ago. Since it's been years. At this point, you should be very used to the situation. You sleep peacefully every night knowing those kids are sleeping up under the roof of their dad and the woman he married. Like, you're so peaceful with it, you've created a whole new family over here with you. So what do you I don't understand what you like. I wouldn't have dared went to Christian's graduation and felt like I needed to fight the whole gymnasium. I would have went to that boy's graduation, cheered my son on, and as soon as they called his name and I would have seen him get his little diploma, whatever he got, I would have got my ass up and left. Because Olivia didn't know any of those other kids. She actually came there for Christian. So once you saw Christian do his thing, then I would have left.
So I'd rather not even go. Okay? Until we can work things out correctly. Okay? Because think what you want, say what you want. A person can only take so much. That's why there's shows like Dateline, Snapped. That's why these shows exist. Because people can only take so much. So I know that.
Girl, you snaps on the internet. You definitely don't snap in person. You snap on the internet. And here's the thing. You said last year in November that you met up with Gerada, I guess at his people's house because you don't have any people there. How did you know Antonisha wasn't going to be there? How did you know that? You showed up there to where on Gerard's territory because that's his people. Apparently or allegedly you showed up there by yourself to talk to Gerard about the kids stuff. So why wouldn't you show up to the gymnasium where there's not only Gerard and Antonisha, but there's a host of other people for all the other children? Since you would have been protected, they would have seen your pregnant Bailey with no those strangers in there. Just because you're a pregnant woman, they wouldn't have let nobody assault you. You didn't show up because you didn't want to show up. Period.
I know who I am. And I'm going to restrain myself from where I could go. Right? Yeah. And I'm scared. I'm petrified. I'm so scared. I'm shaking in my boots. Okay?
Elliot said Nisha and Gerard did a video saying they invited her to show up, but she won't. She the slow one who playing games.
Yeah, I'm shaking. I'm you guys see me shaking? I'm so scared. Yeah, it is a sad situation, Michelle. And you know what? My kids just have to deal with it. And it's his fault. At this point, it's his fault. And you can feel how you want to feel about it.
Girl, she spent more time doing this than she does getting ready for that baby. Hell, does the baby even have a crib yet?
It's 100% his fault. He's allowing it. He's gonna continue to allow it. And like I said in my video, I had a childhood. He had a childhood, and now he's ruining their childhood. And maybe he thinks that they're better off without me. And if that's what he thinks, more power to him. Think however he wants. He can think however he wants. I'm no longer trying to make anybody think anything. You guys can think.
What about what your kids think? If it's all about the kids, who cares what Gerard and Antonisha thinks? Do you see how she tries to gaslight the internet to get everybody on her side? Right, Lynn, it doesn't. Do y'all notice that? What about what your children think? You don't think Christian would have just smiled from ear to ear to see your light face in the stands? You and Kaylani? He would have been just as ecstatic to see you. I don't care who you are. I don't care what point you're proving, because you're not proving a point to nobody but those kids. You think Gerard give a damn about you not showing up? You ain't his mama. He don't care nothing about you not showing up. But Christian does. Maybe he did. Maybe he won't say anything to you. Maybe Christian might say something to you 5 years from now. I don't know. But I would think any child who has their parents living and breathing would want them to show up to their accomplishments.
My kids are better off. They don't need me. She's their mom. He's right. Da 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 da. Think whatever you
I
want to
know,
think.
Reckon.
The truth
You're
remains the
right.
truth. And that's what I will always speak on. Nobody will take the fucking truth away from me. I don't care what happens in this scenario. The
Exactly,
truth is the
Yana.
truth. So, yeah. I think every child deserves to have their kids and make
Right,
their
with
own
love.
decision on their parents. But if he wants to take that from them, then take that from them. No, I didn't lose visitation. People are saying, oh, she lost visitation. No, I'm choosing not to be around because I'm not playing into this psychotic game anymore.
Didn't you just have those kids for Easter? If Gerard was playing a game, you wouldn't have had those kids for Easter. Easter was just a couple of weeks ago. I'm gonna tell you something. If Olivia had somebody that she was in love with and was happy, I personally don't feel she would give a damn about what Gerard got going on. Yes, Olivia has birthed kids with 3 different men, right? Since Gerard. Yes, she has. But y'all, obviously, she wasn't in love with none of those men, right? She just got pregnant by him and decided not to get rid of the baby. But if Olivia had a man that was supporting her and loving her and being there for her and that man would have walked through them gymnasium doors. Trust and believe. But because she's by herself, I think a lot of her didn't want to show up, one, by herself, two, pregnant. And Gerard looking at her like, damn, you pregnant again? Which obviously he knows she's pregnant, but still.
You don't understand? Oh my God, nobody would ever keep me away from my kids. Life in prison would. Life in prison would.
Girl, hush, you're not gonna hit a lick at a stick. Who is gonna take care of Kaylani and AJ and the baby in your belly? Because I'm gonna tell you something. Your mama can only do so much. Now she can handle AJ and Kaylani, but a whole new, brand new baby. Olivia, you love the internet too much. You went stir crazy them 43 days and 43 nights that you was away from the internet. So you're not gonna take no chances of being away from the internet like that no more.
That would keep you away from your kids. I can tell you that much. So yeah. So yeah, I'm just gonna wait and we're gonna see how everything turns out. But yeah, it's 100%. That is what it is, and whatever, you know. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. I've tried. You guys have seen me try multiple times. But I'm not doing this, you know? Yep, I'm choosing not to see my kids. Yep, I am. Yep, and let me block you. There you go. No, I'm choosing not to be a part of that situation anymore. That's what I'm choosing because it is like I don't know how long this person thinks that he can like psychologically fuck with me, but like if he thinks.
But my thing is this, Olivia, you act like this just started. Y'all been going through this ever since he's had the kids, even before he was granted custody of them. Y'all been doing this. Now all of a sudden, now, what is this particular? Why is this particular situation different from any other one? When Antonisha mama confronted you at the schoolhouse, you didn't retreat then from the children. When she told you to be a better mother or whatever, a better whatever she told you, didn't retreat then. So why is this? But I think you did lose custody. I did not custody, visitations. And you just don't want to say it to the internet. You'll just let the internet think what they want to think. I think you did lose visitations because why is this particular moment you're deciding to just, oh, after 5 years, I'm done. Hell, the kid's damn near grown. Isn't Robin like in middle school now? Which about 12, 13 years old? Now you're done? Shit, they damn near old enough to drive over there they damn selves to your house. They don't even got to wait on you to pick them up from the school. They damn near old enough to get in the car and drive themselves over there. But now you're done?
Thinks he's going to do this forever through my kids. He's not. I feel really bad that my babies have to go through with because they should just have a normal life. They should just be with me 50% of the time. And that's what I've been saying. If you guys have opened your ears and listened to Liv, I have been saying for years.
Do y'all think that's what it is? Black Auntie, what's up, sis? Do you think that's what it is, Black Auntie? You think Olivia don't want those kids for the summer like last summer? Do y'all really think that? Damn. Y'all could be right. Because she did the last thing last summer, didn't she? Huh. Olivia, I hope these people lying to me about you, girl. I don't want to believe that. Deeper, you say she don't want him, and Deeper a whole gentleman over here. Where's Steve at? Y'all, so y'all think the same thing. You right, Melissa? You right. Damn, y'all think so? Cynthia said, I do, sis. You said those kids eat, demand, and what to do more than sit in the house all summer. Yep, and she about to have that baby too. Because she's gonna be in labor. You think that's what it is?
I don't even want to take the kids away from him. I just want 50% of the time. What should have happened from the jump. What I was trying to make happen from the jump. The reason I left Texas and went back to Florida the last time is because he wasn't helping me with my kids. Because once again, she found out that he was trying to sleep with me. And he stopped coming around completely. That's how that happens. And I was like, oh, you're not going to come around anymore? You're not going to help me with the kids? Well, then I'm going to go back to Florida since you're not going to help me with these kids. And that's how it happens. That's the truth. You don't like it? Too bad. Because that's the fucking truth. I didn't run to keep his kids away from him. My stupid ass came to Texas so he can be around his kids. And then after I found out he was sleeping with somebody else while we were married, I still let him pick up his kids every single fucking weekend and take them around that bitch. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That woman. I'm so sorry. I don't mean bitch like that. I mean, like, I was just saying that bitch. Like, you know, I call females bitches. But I let him take her around because I'm the mom. You guys always want to say, oh, she just wants control. Of course I want control. They came out of my vagina. I carried them all for 10 months each. Of course I want control. You guys don't want control over your kids? You guys don't think you deserve control? This is all about control, of course. That's mine. That's mine. I control this shit. That in that room is mine. I control that. My cat right there. I control this shit. Yeah, every mother wants control. I don't want control of that nigga, but of course I wanted control of my kids. Of course. Not because I'm white, not because I'm no, because I'm their mom. That's my God-given right to have control over my children until they're 18. That's my fucking right. But it was taken from me. Okay? Why did I lose control over my kids? Because I didn't have a lawyer. That's why. Because he lied about me in court. Yeah. Yeah, you guys, there's actually people out there who are not good people and who do that in the courts. They straight up lie to the judge. Yeah. And I didn't have a lawyer and pretty much Texas wanted jurisdiction over my kids because they wanted the whole child support situation. They make money. Wherever you have child support open in a state, they make money. Texas did not even have jurisdiction over my kids because I was not in Texas for 6 months straight when I moved back. But once again,
But weren't your kids born in the state of Texas? All three of your kids? Or am I mistaken, y'all? Weren't all three of her kids born in Texas? How would Florida have jurisdiction? If Gerard is the one who opened up the case, then that's where the jurisdiction would stay. Now, if you would have opened up a case, Christian was born in California. Okay. They said Christian. Robert was born in California. Okay. Well, let me say this because obviously I know little Ryan, the youngest one, was born in Texas. I don't know about the two oldest. Let me say this: Gerard is the one who opened up the case, right? When Olivia and Gerard had the mediator, remember when Gerard and her had the mediator to determine how much child support Gerard would pay? That originated in Texas, right? So since Gerard is the one who pursued the actual case, jurisdiction is going to lie where the person who initiated the case. So where is she? See, this is what happens when you don't have an attorney. You're not being counseled correctly.
because I didn't have a lawyer. Okay? When this whole thing started. That's why he has custody. Okay? Not because I was on drugs, not because I left my kids at home and I went to party, not because none of that shit. He couldn't prove a fuck thing in court. Not even that I was on drugs.
So the only reason you lost custody is because of an attorney. So your rich stepfather will give you money to buy a vehicle when you can catch the bus and the train. You live in the DFW. Don't they got buses and trains there? Your rich stepfather would get, hey, Steve, your rich stepfather will give you money to buy a vehicle. They will help you move from state to state. But the rich stepdaddy won't give you money to keep your kids in your custody? Huh. Okay. Okay. Doesn't make sense, but okay. I don't understand that. If stepdaddy will give you money for vehicles, but what did you say about? I think you said about $5,000 he gave you. He wouldn't give you 400 to retain an attorney. Hell, that man probably spent $400 when he go to Costco with your mama. Does that make sense to any of y'all? She keeps saying that she lost custody because she didn't have an attorney. Well, once you seen shit was getting ugly, girl, why the hell you didn't ask for a public defender? It's the fact that you walked in there basically butt ass naked. At what point don't you ask for legal counsel? Tell them you can't afford it. I don't know. Can you do that in family court? Can you use attorneys through the state for no, you can't, Lynn. When it's family court, you can't. You have to have a paid attorney. Well, that's when I would have been on here doing skits with the internet to get money. A lawyer will help advise you and will help fight for you, but if there's evidence that's working against you, now I don't know, y'all, because y'all seen when with OJ, if it don't fit, you must have quit. With the whole glove being fit, I don't know. They called OJ's lawyers the dream team.
You guys are, oh, she was on, no, the fuck, I wasn't on drugs, bitch. No, I wasn't. If I was on drugs, the judge wouldn't have sent my kids back. If I had a positive drug screening. Okay? So yeah, that's how I lost control. And it could happen to any of you. Don't ever let a man ever have the benefit of the doubt. Ever. Because they would love to give the custody to the man. Oh, yes, they would. Oh,
no, sis, they would love for custody to stay with the most suitable parent. That could be man or woman. Courts typically are for the children. Typically, they are for the benefit of the children. Whoever is the better provider is where the custody will lie if that becomes in question. Gerard, you had the type of man that wanted to challenge, and that's what he did.
yes, they would. You know why? Because that would fuck up the kids more. Yeah, it would. It would. And why does the court want the kids fucked up? Because then they have lifetime fucking, they just have more fucked up people. They have more fucked up individuals in society, in the world. The fuck? Of course they want more fucked up people.
So you're saying all kids that are raised by their dads are effed up? Who told you that? Did TikTok tell you that?
More people to put in jail, more people to put in prison, more people to get on drugs, more people to come through the courts. Of course they want to fuck up the children. They don't care about kids. Are you guys good? They gave most the time, I'm gonna say not all men, because there's a lot of mature men, okay? But most of the time, thank you, Tyla. Most of the time, giving control to a man is the worst thing you can do because men are stupid. Most men, okay? They're dumb. They're dumb, okay? They're dumb. I could say I could go into a lot, but I'm just saying they are not as smart as women. If I was to get, if I had primary custody over my kids, this would not be going this way. This would not be going this way. And if he was like mature, if this whole situation was different, right? Let's just say it was different. I got primary. He was mature. He was in that relationship. He respected his relationship. He respected the mother of his kids, right? I probably would have came back to Texas anyway and gave him 50-50. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm talking about like living with him 50% of the time and me 50% of the time. Because that's what I wanted from the jump.
Nah, sis, if Gerard would have continued on a relationship with Antonisha as he did, and you would have came back to Texas only to make life hell for him, you would have used those kids as leverage over his head, like you did prior to you getting caught slipping. You definitely would have used those kids as bait because you know how he feels about his kids.
I didn't want my kids to live without him. That's why I left Florida and followed his stupid ass to Texas.
No, sis, Olivia, how do you keep missing parts of your story? If you wanted those kids to be with their dad, you would have never left Texas in the beginning. If you wanted those kids to be with their dad, why did you move to Florida the very first time? Remember when Gerard initially took you to Florida? That's not it, sis. Why do you keep missing that part? Remember when you took them away from him and left him in that apartment with nothing? And he drove y'all to Florida, and then he drove the avalanche back to Texas. You remember that? And he went back to the apartment where y'all all was living together. So if you wanted those kids to be a part of their dad, you wouldn't have never removed them from the words they go. Now, I understand you wanting to be where you felt you were happy. But again, if it's about the children, like you said, this is why you packed up from Florida and went chasing him. If it was about the children, sis, you would have never had to chase him from one state to the other because you would have remained in the state. Even if you didn't remain in the same apartment as him, you could have moved across town and got your own damn place.
Because I didn't want Christian to not have a dad. I didn't want my girls to not have a dad. I didn't want that life for them. But the moment I got here, he started playing these fuck ass games that he's still playing to this day. That he can have me and have her too. And it's fucking manipulation. It's crazy. It's toxic. It's disgusting. But I'm just saying, if it wasn't that's why it's stupid of the courts, unless the mom is like fully gone, unless the mom is like cracked out on a street corner. It is diabolical to give control to the man because men are stupid. Most men. Okay. Wait, what? What is so hard to understand that he is using the kids to have access to her. He's trying to play on her top. He's done questionable things that none of y'all bring up. Yeah. Well, that's because in my situation, I've also learned that women will always be blamed. We will always catch the heat. Mothers will always take the blame, will always be blamed for everything. You know, there's a lot of things. Like when my kids were here, and people are like, oh, this is another thing. You go live when your kids are there. I don't give a fuck. My life doesn't stop. I'm still who I am. Just like he does what he does, I do what I do. If I want to be live 24 fucking 7 when my kids are here, I can do that. Okay? I would have done that if I was still living in the home with them. I like what I do. If you have a problem with that, you don't understand that, you don't comprehend that, I don't give a fuck. That's you. But anyway, when my kids would be around and they would fight and y'all would see Christian pushing and beating on his sisters or whatever he would do, I remember somebody said, oh, look how Olivia lets him beat on his sisters. Like, everything is my fault. My kids are hardly with me but fucking 4 days out of the month. But I let my son beat on his sisters. That's learned from where he lives. And I try to correct him when he's here. But I'm just saying that's just an example. I'm blamed for everything. And when they get older and they have all these fucked up things that they're dealing with, I'll still be blamed. It will be my fault. And that's okay. I'm grown enough to take responsibility. It's not about blame. It's about taking responsibility. When you take responsibility of things, you're more in control. And I don't mean control of other people. I'm just saying in control of your own situation, of your own surroundings, when you can take responsibility. And yeah, I don't mind any of that. But I'm just saying, like, you guys have no idea the shit that my kids witness, endure. Oh, you have no fucking idea. Okay? To this fucking day. And if I wanted to be messy, if I wanted to be nasty, I would expose all of it. But I'm not going to. All I'm going to say is that God is in control. I'm going to be the bigger person. I'm going to be the better person, even though so much has been done to me. I bowed out, but I bowed out gracefully. And I said to everybody, I'm only bowing out because you're not going to fucking play with me anymore. No one is going to play with me. And he obviously needs to learn the importance of his children's feelings. So we're going to wait until he does. Because like I said, it doesn't matter about me, fuck him, fuck her, fuck all of us. It's about them three. Okay? And if he gave a fuck, he would handle this situation correctly. Period, point blank. No, I don't let him do anything. I'm not over there. I can't control anything. I can't. And what if he never does? Then they grow up without a mom. They grow up with a stepmom and a dad. Mm-hmm. And they can find me, and they can come to me whenever they want. I put in the app to him that I'm not going to fight with him about my children anymore. If my kids want me, if they want to reach out to me, if they want to call me, they're not allowed to call me, but if they would want to call me, he should let them call me. If they want to come to me, let them come to me. I did. Let them. Let them. And if he doesn't, then that's on him. I can't change that. And I'm not gonna beg, I'm not gonna plead, I'm not gonna kiss ass. I'm not gonna ask him to meet me somewhere so we can have an adult conversation. I'm not gonna have sex with him. I'm not gonna do any of that anymore. Anymore. So yeah. No, I didn't give up on my kids. I gave up on this situation. Yeah. It's two different things. Bye, babe. I just answered that, Jen. No, let them say that. That's okay, because that fits their narrative. The people who don't like me, that goes more into y'all's narrative that I don't care and it's all my fault and whatever. I don't, like I said, I don't care what you guys think. You guys are irrelevant, honestly. If you're not a supporter, then you guys don't matter. I'll just block you guys. Yes. Yes. Uh-huh. Sulu, yes. All kids need their moms. That bond is not replaceable. Well, some people think it is replaceable. Some people think it is. Bella. Mhm. Bella.
I could say this. I could see if Olivia was deceased, then Antonisha would step in and um yes, I did, Tasha. We're gonna talk about that tomorrow. I wanted to use Olivia exclusively for today. I could see if Olivia was deceased, right? And Antonisha. It's the fact that Olivia is basically killing herself off. You know how we used to say, oh, she must be killing herself or he's getting killed off the episode? Olivia is literally killing herself off. That's literally what she's doing. And it's because, more than likely, she has lost visitations. Right, with love, exactly. You know, if she was deceased, then okay, I could see her like if she was on her dying bed or her deathbed, and she would say, "Please be the mother that I am or I was to my children." On her, I can understand that. But the fact that she's alive and well and she's saying stuff like, "When they get older, they can find me." Olivia, the kids didn't divorce you, Gerard did. So, regardless of what you claim Gerard is doing, the court still gave you visitations. And apparently, you get those. You just had them for Easter weekend. So, why are we killing yourself off as one of the main characters? You know why, y'all? Because she don't care. It. I don't. If you go, let me tell you something. If you play games with a ninja, if you play games about a ninja, wouldn't the game be worth playing if it was to be with your children? Isn't that worth it? And here's the thing, there is an entity called the courts that can get in the middle of the game plan. They do it all the time. Imagine watching the internet, hearing your mother saying, I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore. They can find me when they get older. When just a couple weeks ago, they were over there spending the holiday with you. Just a couple weeks, not 2 years ago, not 2, 3 months ago, 2, 3 weeks ago. What about Kaylani, AJ, and this new baby? They don't have the right to know and have a relationship with their siblings. They don't have they don't, you don't think they need that? It's not like they got other family. They don't fool with their dads. So they don't have that family. Kaylani got a whole slew of sisters in New York. She'll probably never know. It's the fact that she don't care nothing about the three that she got a custody of having a relationship with their siblings, the other children she birthed, her first three set of children. If you don't do it for anybody, do it for KJ and Alani or Kaylani. Don't they deserve to have a relationship with Gerard or not Gerard, excuse me, Christian, Robin, and Ryan? Like at this point, y'all, I have literally said these names too much. And after this situation, we could talk about other things Olivia got going on, But I officially, I'm done talking about how she should carry on or how she should act or how she should feel when it comes to those kids. I'm done talking about it because it's a mute conversation at this point. None of us should have to give her thoughts and opinions because she should have them on her own because these are her kids. These are not our kids. Baby, these ain't even our nieces and nephews or our granddaughters or grandsons. These are her children. So if she don't care, baby, I don't care.
It is sad. It's very sad. It's very, very, very sad. Yes, but you know, I can't be the only one trying to make it right because unfortunately, it takes two to tango. And I'm not going to keep fighting a fucking wall. I can keep trying to beat in this fucking wall and try to get through to this wall, but this wall is just going to stand right here and just be a wall, honey. Okay? So, I'm not finna. How long has it been? 6 years? 6 years? Yeah, we're not doing this anymore.
Girl, you don't know how long it's been? Hell, you should know better than us. Not we keeping up with the time better than you, and it's your time. You're right, Lynn. You could tell she didn't have a good childhood. The fact that her father has other children, the fact that she doesn't even know her father's side of the family, you would think would be all the more reason she shouldn't want that for her own kids.
I deserve to be a present, healed, happy mom for my other 3 children, for all my children. But since, oh, and this is another thing. Don't ever get it fucked up. I am very.
You hear how she said my other 3 children? See how she separates them? She separates them as the ones I have custody of and the ones I don't. Not the children I birthed all these kids in the world. She separates them by the one she has custody of and the one she doesn't.
Alienated out of my children's life. 100%. Okay.
Yeah, I heard it. Yes.
So let's just leave that there. We don't
That's
need to
true,
get into
Camry.
how and da 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 da. No, I very much am. Okay. So there's that. Okay. But I deserve to be happy. These babies deserve to be happy. Okay. Unfortunately, I can't get into that, pretty chocolate. I can't really talk about too much. It's just a fucked up situation. It's a very fucked up situation. And a lot of the times you can get into these fucked up situations with fucked up, corrupt people. And it is what it is. It is what it is, baby. Like I said, I'm checked out. I'm checked out. I don't care how you feel about that. You can feel however you want to feel about that. I've been through too much. Like I said, I will always be here for my kids. But if somebody's not going to allow me to be there, or somebody's going to constantly fight me over my spot and my position in my children's life, they can have it. They can have it. You got it. You got it. Because after a certain point, you're not going to keep fighting me. You want to fight your kids about the love that they have for their mom, the fact that they want to be with their mom, or whatever the case may be, or whatever. But you're not going to keep fighting with me. No. I divorced him years ago, and he's still a fucking factor. I'm still dealing with this shit. I don't want to deal with this anymore. I don't want to, and I don't have to. I don't have to. I don't have to. It's like that's what he wants. He wants to always fight with me. He wants me to always chase him and please and beg and da 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 and da da. I'm not doing that. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
So to denounce Gerard you denounced the children. But when Gerard denounced you, he didn't denounce his kids. But you want to denounce Gerard, and so you denounce the kids? Okay.
I'm blessed to have a great co-parenting relationship with my daughter's dad. That's good. That's awesome. I'm happy for you. That's how it should be.
Exactly, Aaliyah. What is she begging for? All she has to do is follow the court order. And if Gerard is standing in between the court order, then take him to court, just like he takes you to court. But y'all always have to remember 5, 6 years ago, sis said she didn't have money for an attorney. And so I guess 5, 6 years later, she still don't.
Why can't I pick them up on their scheduled days? Because I want more time with my children. Okay, let me try to explain this to you guys, okay? And you guys are not going to believe this because you guys think he's a saint. But I do not like the way he's raising them. Okay? So when they come over here, I have to break them of a lot of things. Okay? A lot.
What do you have to break them of? Because hell, AJ over there throwing cats up against the wall, and he gets to mimic you, and he gets to misbehave, and yeah, apparently you ain't broke him or nothing because he keep doing it. So what are you breaking them of?
Okay? A lot. And it's getting to the point where go lay down, Papa. It's getting to the point where I need more time with them. Not I want.
All right, y'all, here it comes. Buckle up, everybody. Buckle up, Buttercup, because here it comes.
I don't want more time. I need more time. Because when my children come here, they're my kids are so fucked up mentally. I don't think you guys understand this. You guys see one side when they're with him. My kids can't even be themselves with him. And you guys could be like, oh, bitch, please. You don't know that. No, I do know. Because when my daughter sits with me and sobs tears that she cannot call her mom, that she cannot have a relationship with her mom, that she cannot this, that, and this, and she's so confused and she doesn't know why she can't call me and why she can't this and da 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 da. And then my son, it's just it goes on and on and on. Okay, it goes on and on and on. But I need more time with them. That's why. That's why. I need more time. That's all I can say. I can't make you guys understand me without telling you guys everything. And I can't tell you guys everything because no, that's my kid's business. But
Here we go.
him and like I keep saying, until things get on the right page with everything, okay? With the co-parenting, with the understanding, with the everything that needs to be put right, I cannot be a part of it. Does that make sense?
Well, no, not necessarily. Does it make sense to raise your children on live stream? To me, that doesn't make sense. Whatever Gerard is doing over there with those kids, it's not on, it's the whole world doesn't know it. We only know it until you come tell us. Right, Corey? Corey says no. Yeah, Corey says no, don't make no sense to me, sis. With love says makes sense to who? Who are we talking to? That Shy says no, ma'am. Yeah, don't make any sense to me. Shy says, can you maybe say it in Spanish? Maybe I can understand it then. Yeah, I don't know. That's what my thing is. At least whatever they over there doing, they do it. Just the parents know about it, right? But when they're with you, the whole entire internet knows about it.
If it doesn't make sense, then just don't even try to understand it. But we have to agree on how we are going to, how we, not him, how we are going to raise these kids. Because you're not going to raise kids a certain type of way and then they come over here beating on my little kids. You understand? We have to be in communication. We have to understand. We have to be on the same page raising kids.
Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on, girl. Is you throwing the kids up under the bus now? Wait a minute. So you say Robin, Christian, and Ryan be coming over there terrorizing AJ and Kaylani? Them good Christian children you got over there? AJ and Kaylani? Not they over there terrorizing AJ. Who could terrorize them? Girl, not you throwing the kids up under the bus. So basically what she's saying, my kids is bad as fuck. That's what she's saying, y'all. I'ma just tell you. That's what she's saying. She said her kids is bad as hell. And Gerard and Tanisha ain't raising them right. And when they come over there, they disrupting her good Christian household. That's what she's saying. Well, damn. Girl, when you quit somebody, you quit them. Baby, she didn't quit them kids, and now she just like Gerard. Just like when she quit Gerard. Well, let me say this. When her and Gerard were no longer, and she didn't care nothing about coming on the internet calling Gerard gay and told us he was over there trying to buy the nanny nanny from the prostitutes and everything else that was going on. Baby, when she quits you, baby, she don't give a damn. She let it all out. Y'all remember when she called herself quitting Zolo and she told us he was over there bobbing for apples in the parking lot with some man? Y'all remember? Allegedly. Y'all remember that when she told us that? Baby, well, I tell you, when Olivia quits you, child, she quits you. Baby, she done quit them kids and now she over talking about they bad as hell and she don't want them around her good Christian children, meaning AJ and Kaylani. Girl, mess.
Okay? There's a lot that I don't agree with. There's a lot that I'm not going to stand for. Okay? As a mother, I'm not. And I never will. Okay? A big example. My 12-year-old daughter telling me that she's gay. I'm not going to stand for it.
Wait, was it? Wait, what did you just say? Let me back that up.
Okay? With the co-parenting, with the understanding, with the everything that needs to be put right, I cannot be a part of it. Does that make sense? If it doesn't make sense, then just don't even try to understand it. But we have to agree on how we are going to, how we, not him, how we are going to raise these kids. Because you're not going to raise kids a certain type of way and then they come over here beating on my little kids. You understand? We have to be in communication. We have to understand. We have to be on the same page raising kids. Okay? There's a lot that I don't agree with. There's a lot that I'm not going to stand for. Okay? As a mother, I'm not. And I never will. Okay? A big example. My 12-year-old daughter telling me that she's gay.
If Robin wanted to come out, sis, I don't think this is the way she wanted to come out. And you being her mother, regardless if she lays in the same roof with you or not, sis, it's your job to protect her. If Robin told you that she's gay at 12, instead of crucifying her for it, sis, you got to love her and help her through it. Okay. I remember when I was fostering, I had a little girl. She was 10 years old. And when I got her and her sister, I think her sister was 13 or 14 and she was 10. Two little mixed girls. And I remember the little girl telling me how she used to spend the night over at the friend's house in her neighborhood. And I was still carrying them to the school that they were going to. And I was going across town to take them to the school they were going to until they could get transferred to the school in my neighborhood. And I remember the little girl saying to me one day how when she get out of school, could she go over to her friend's house? And I said, baby, who's your friend? She said, oh, she's my best friend. I've been staying over her house for a while. Yeah, her mom doesn't mind. I said, well, honey, unfortunately, I don't know who this friend is. And I don't know her mom. And unfortunately for you right now, your previous living situation is kind of put on pause. So because you're living under my roof, I don't think I'll be able to do that. I said, let me make some calls. Let me talk to some people. Let me see what I can do. Maybe we can arrange a play date or something. The little girl proceeded to say, well, I gotta go over there. She's my girlfriend. So when I heard the little girl, now mind you, y'all, she was 10. When I heard her say that, I said, girlfriend. So maybe she meant, like, like I call my homegirls, that's my girlfriend. Yeah. Not, like that's my homegirl, right? So I'm thinking, so her sister said, yeah, that's her lover. I said, wait, what? What are you talking about? I turned to the little girl and I'm like, honey, what is she saying to me? What is your sister saying? She said, I'm gay. No, she said, yeah, I think that, no, she said, I'm bisexual. That's what the little girl said. She said, I'm bisexual. Mind you, this little girl was 10. And I looked at her and I said, honey, um, do you know what that means? I said, better yet, do you know how to spell the word bisexual? And she just looked at me. And because this is not my child, I, I didn't really know what to say. Because again, I don't really know this child. I don't know what she's been through. I don't know what she's seen, what she heard, I don't know anything. And I said, honey, um, let's I'll get back with you about going to see your friend, okay? Let me talk to your case manager, okay? Let me talk to your case manager. Let me see what Miss Tasha can do. Okay. She said, okay, Miss Tasha, thank you. I really miss her. And I said, okay, honey, I understand. But today I'm going to take you to school. And when school's out, I'm going to be there to pick you up, okay? You can't go over a friend's house today. Is that understood? She said, yes, ma'am. I said, but let me get back with you. Give me a couple days. Let me get in touch with your case manager. No, this was on our way getting in the car to go to school. Baby, I got in that car and I turned the radio on. And I was staring straight ahead, looking into the sky, and I was like, my heart broke for that baby. Because again, I didn't know what to say to her. Because I don't want to hurt her. I don't want to make her to feel like she's horrible. Like I didn't want her to make her, I didn't know what to say. I just said, okay. And because again, she's 10. And so I got them to school. And as soon as I got them in school, I called the case manager on the phone. And thank God for one of the times she actually answered the phone. And I told her what just happened. And you know what that caseworker said to me? She said, girl, that ain't even the half of it. I guess the caseworker has been exposed to so much. It wasn't nothing to her for me to say it to her. She was just like, oh, that's all she said. Oh, the girl ain't not. And I'm sitting up here like, the baby 10. 10. Needless to say, I reached out to their therapist that they had and told her. And obviously, they had a conversation. And I did work it out where she could go over there and visit the friend for 2 hours. And it was right after school. I made sure that the parent was there. I explained to her that she's under state's custody and they have to be supervised by an adult. And I let her go over there for 2 hours. And I went to the McDonald's down the street and sat there and sat in the parking lot and dropped me some coffee until her 2 hours were up. And I picked her up. About a month, maybe about 2 months after that, they end up getting removed out of my custody. And it's so funny that Olivia said this about her daughter, because I actually thought about that girl the other day. Now, mind you guys, this was like 10 years ago. No, this was like 9. It's almost 10 years ago. It's been a long time. So now that obviously the little girl's not 10 anymore, she's grown now. And I thought about her the other day. But to take the attention off my story and going back to Olivia and her 12-year-old daughter, Olivia, how dare you tell the world that? We didn't need to know that, sis. That's between you, your daughter, and however you guys talk about that and work that out. It's like, when does conversations just become between you and your child? How can she trust you? But you just heard her denounce her relationship with those kids. So now she doesn't care.
I'm not going to stand for it. I'm not. I think my daughter's going through things and she doesn't have her mom by her side to help her through it. I told him, did she tell you this? Yeah, she told me this. She doesn't know what she's talking about. She doesn't know what she's talking about. That's not the right handling. Just to shut her up and tell her, you don't know what you're talking about. Hush. No, you have to talk to her about it. You have to, obviously, that's a problem. I don't care if it's 2026 and everyone's gay and I'm not going for it. I'm not going for it. And not because I'm homophobic, not because of none of that shit. I'm not going for it because something is going wrong. Something's happening there. And that's what needs to be addressed.
Olivia, I will say this. I don't know what's going on with Robin. There's no way I would know. I don't live with this child. I don't know anything, right? I just know what Olivia tells us. And what I can say is liking somebody is something you feel. And what we do know is there is a such thing that people like the same sex. That just didn't start last year. Okay. People being gay didn't start at the height of the pandemic. Maybe that's been going on for centuries, right? But what you don't do or you try not to do, especially when your child comes to you at a young age and tell you that she likes the same thing she is, girls, what you don't do is make her feel like something's wrong with her. Even if that's your initial reaction, at some point you have to pause and realize that you're dealing with a whole human being. She's a person who has feelings and emotions. And as parents, we have to learn how to work with those emotions, those feelings, because we are supposed to be guiding them through life, right? And even if we've done everything we can do as parents, ultimately these kids are going to do what they want to do, regardless if we agree to it or disagree to it. The only thing we pray that they don't get themselves hurt or ended up in prison. Okay, that's the best thing. But what you don't do is vent to the information about your daughter to the internet. And here's the gag to all of this. She didn't just find this out. She's been known this, but because now she's deciding to denounce herself as being their mother, now she can just let it all out because she don't care. And that's the epitome of you don't care about your children. Because no matter how mad you are at the situation, that little girl told you that because she wanted you to know. Because you're her mom. So what you don't do is out her to the internet. You don't do that, sis. We would have never had to know that. Even if we suspected it. What we didn't need is you to confirm it. Gerard didn't come to the internet and say, hey, y'all, hey, Instagram, guess what? Robin gay. Yeah, he didn't do that. But you did.
You want what? You want dun dun. What's dun dun? Of course I talked to her about it. Of course, but 2 fucking days is not enough days to talk to her about it. She needs her mom. Right? Obviously, that should be a clear factor, a clear point, a clear thing. She needs her mom. Something went wrong here. Somebody fucked up. Right? Am I right? Or are we going to be like, girl, please? No, bitch. No. Because I love my daughter. And there's a reason why she feels the way she feels. No, she wasn't born like that. I had her till she was like 7 or 8. She wasn't born like that. She's always had crushes on boys. That's not her story. Something is going on.
So what you think, Olivia? You think some inappropriate behavior is going on with family members or school friends or something? Do you think Gerard and Antonisha are not paying enough attention to her? Do you think that's what's going on? How do you know that as she got older, she realized she probably wasn't as attracted to boys as she may like Olivia, she told you that at, I don't know, 6, 7 years old. One thing I can say about children, they're very impressionable. I mean, anytime an adult can be influenced. You don't think a child can? Now, am I saying somebody's influencing Robin? No, I am. I don't know what's going on. But what I know is, regardless of what she says her sexuality is, she's your daughter still, no matter who she loves or likes.
So that's what I mean by I don't want more time. Or I don't just want more time. I need more time. 2 days. What are you doing, Kailani? 2 days is not enough. Okay? I'm not on drugs. I'm not on the streets. Yeah, sure, I'm in a small place, but that can all change over fucking night. I could literally move tomorrow and get a house. Literally.
Well, if you could do that, why didn't you do that initially? Didn't you know you was pregnant when you moved into this 2-bedroom roach infested apartment? I don't know if it still has roaches, but it did when you first moved in. If you could just move into a house in the blink of an eye, why didn't you do that? At least you wouldn't have had to think about moving again anytime soon.
I could, but there's no reason to at this very moment. But if he were to call me and say, hey, I'm going to give you 50% of the time with the kids, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, 1 week on, 1 week off, bitch, I'll get what I need to get, period, point blank, without the internet's help. I will. You want to see? Trust me, it only takes a phone call for me to get the money. Okay? I could get it. So
if it only takes a phone call to get money to move, how come we couldn't use that same phone call to get an attorney? Again, make all this make sense.
hush. Anybody out there who has something bullshit to say, stop playing with me. And I'm not saying this about my daughter to throw her under the bus. She's a child. She doesn't know what she's saying. She doesn't even know nothing. She's never even been in a relationship. She's never even kissed nobody. She doesn't know nothing.
How do you know that? Did you ask her?
She's just saying shit because she's overly exposed to shit and she doesn't understand. And she doesn't have her mama. Duh. The fuck? Duh. 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 Okay? That's it and that's all. And no, I'm not, like I said, I'm not homophobic. I'm not none of that. But I know my baby. I know my baby. I know my baby.
You was
She's
with
going through it. So that's what I mean by she needs more time with her mom. I need more time with her. I need more time with Christian. I need more time with Ryan.
But why okay, but Olivia, now that you've outed her to the internet, now that you have told the whole world this girl's business that was just inside your 4 walls and her dad's 4 walls, why would you do you think she would want to spend time with you now? She can't even trust you. Because isn't it about how she feels? Isn't that what you're talking about? So how do you feel that she would want to be around you when she can't even trust you? Every time them kids tell you something, you run to the internet and tell the internet. It is ridiculous. Hell, did you even tell your mama first? I pray you told Stella before you told us.
I deserve, those are my children, and I'm not playing this psycho game anymore. For what reason do I have visitation? Why do I have to have visitation? Did I neglect them? Did I abuse them? Did I starve them? Was I on drugs? None of the above.
Olivia, you have visitation because you don't have permanent guardianship. They don't live with you. So the judge wanted you to be able to still visit with the children. They just don't want you, they don't want him living with you indefinitely. So that's why you were granted visitations, because that's what the judge granted once he rendered that they need to live with their father. If you didn't want the visitation, when the judge stated that you could have it, why didn't you denounce it at that time? Because now you don't want it. And you've been having the same energy about needing your kids 50%, but still not getting them 50% of the time. So when the judge offered you something that wasn't 50%, why didn't you tell the judge, no, thank you? If I can't have them 50%, I don't want them at all. Because he would have said, oh, okay, Miss Johnson, you sure? You would have been like, yeah, judge, if I can't get them 50%, I don't want them at all. He would have been like, well, all right, well, and the court reporter would have dictated that, and it would have been in the records. You didn't say that when he extended visitations to you or ordered visitations to you. You accepted it. That's why you had that.
I have visitation because he wants to keep controlling me. And she wants to keep me out of my kid's life because it makes her feel like she's in control and she's the mom and I'm out of his life. And it's
Hey, Olivia, if Antonisha didn't want you around, then the visitations wouldn't even been on the table. If they was able to work it to where you wouldn't have custody of the kids, like with them living with you, they could have worked it so you didn't have visitations.
so fucked up. It's so fucked up because I don't care about that man. I don't care. I really wish in a perfect world, even though we were together, we were in love, we had kids, blah, 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 all of that. I really wish he could just be an adult and be nice and be kind and be like just a friend. Like, not even like a friend, like we're best buds. I'm just saying, like, friendly. Like, we could just be co parents and it could just be fucking cool.
Yeah, but sis, you threw that out the window years ago when you got on the internet and dragged them for months and months and days and hours and minutes. You tarnished that situation a long time ago. And then Gerard and Antonisha sporadically would come and clap back at you. They don't do it a lot, but they'll do it at least, I don't know, maybe once a year, once every other year. They will do it. So that kind of hindered that we're buds slash co-parents. Since you killed that a long time ago, okay? And even more recently, when you came to the internet and exposed that you guys were over there, doing the bud and things. Yeah, that really sealed the deal because he was like, damn, I can't even screw you and get away with it. Like, damn, I can't even touch on you and get away with it, even after I done gave you some coin.
I don't want to be with him. I don't want to have sex with him. I don't want to have any type of relations like that. I just want to co parent. That's it. That's it.
What I want to know this. Since the story is about you being a single mom with several baby daddies, when do we talk about the other baby daddies? What about this new baby daddy? Do we got any updates on him? Because last time we heard he was over there banging and trying to knock your door damn down. Then he went around and started banging on windows. Do we got any updates on him? Hell, when the last time you talked to old Joey Crack Crizzle over there? Has Zolo sent you a cash app lately? Can we talk about that?
Can I control myself around him? 100%. Yes, I can. I did it. Before he took it into his own hands, I don't need to touch him. I don't need to do none of that.
You don't need to, but yet you said you did last year because you was trying to get your kids stuff together. Bye, Liv. I can't take no more, y'all. If y'all want to go over there and finish, we did quite a bit. Okay, we've been here almost 3 hours, and I don't know about y'all. TMI tired. I'm tired, boss. I'm tired. But what I wanted y'all to hear is how she threw her daughter literally up under the bus. Okay. I wanted y'all to hear that. And I don't care what nobody say. If I would have did anything, that's the one thing I wouldn't have done. I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have threw my baby up under the bus like that. Not for no damn internet. So we can sit around and gossip about it. It's bad enough we gossip about her, but now she wants us to gossip about her children, her child. Do y'all see what I'm saying? Now, it's already been said around the internet that people thought that Robin could be that. And I think Olivia, obviously, she sees the comments and hears it in probably reaction videos. I've never spoke of that because I thought the little girl was just tomboyish, At the end of the day, whatever she's choosing to do, and I'm here's the thing: 12 years old is young to make that decision. I'm not gonna lie. That is young to make that decision. Hell, I don't even know if Robin's getting her period yet. So, but at the end of the day, she said it to you in confidence. She didn't say it to you while you were on live. She probably said it to you when y'all was up at 2:00 in the morning. Remember when somebody was knocking on your door? She probably said it to you that night in confidence when her siblings was asleep and it was just you and her. And you took that very intimate conversation and spilled tea on the internet. Olivia, you're despicable. I wouldn't have dared did that. Yeah, it ain't enough money in the world. I wouldn't have dared. I don't care how mad my daughter would have made me. I wouldn't have did that because guess what? You're my daughter. And you're always going to be my daughter. You know how you have a friend today and tomorrow they may not be your friend? But your daughter is your daughter today, and she'll be your daughter tomorrow, and she'll be your daughter after that too. You can denounce those kids all you want to, but the title still remains. She's your daughter. You birthed her. You may not be mothering her daily, right? But you are her mother. Regardless of who's overseeing them, you birthed them. Can't nobody take that away from you. Even if the judge took away your rights, he can't take away the fact that you laid down and pushed her out your hoo-ha. Can't nobody. So that alone, if you could have told us anything, that one, you should have kept to your damn self. You was dead ass wrong for outing that girl like that. And then you're trying to make it like it's Gerard's fault. Gerard didn't come to the internet and tell the internet Robin says she's gay. Her mother did. All right, y'all, I'm gone. I'm out of here. Y'all be good. Y'all be great. And I'm going to see y'all in the next one, honey. Good night, y'all. This girl done wore me the fuck out. Sub what you love. Bye.